always try and give a summary of the day, just so that everyone can get a feel for the whole day if they weren't here for the whole day. Well, they should have been, obviously, but if they weren't, you did get a little summary now. I was delighted again to have Harry welcome us all here today. It was a great opportunity to listen to one of the stalwarts of our industry, so thank you, Harry. And thank you to Peter for keeping us on track so brilliantly during the day. So kind and wise words from both of you. We went straight into that lovely review with Mark from BDO and Catherine from Hotstats. That's been referred to so many times, those two, along with Jerome from Amadeus. So some fantastic stats and figures and nice, positive, forward-looking bits and pieces. I loved what Mark was saying about let's not accept that there is any crisis. We've got to be positive, we've got to look forward. That's very much at the heart of everything we try and do at Hospa. We really try and keep it positive as we possibly can at all times. I think we proved that in 2020. I've been looking around the room today and there's a few key faces that were here when we did the conference from a TV studio in 2020. We delivered it. Tom, you were there. Liz was there. There's a lot of people that have been involved today. And we were very positive then and we continue to be that way today. We had Tom Pugh, first time we've had an economist, and that was great, and there was lovely positivity bits in there as well, and very good news on consumer spending coming up, and I learnt that 40% of people have paid off their mortgage and 30% of people are renting, so that puts me in someone with still a big mortgage left to pay, so I'll probably be back next year. And I love the fact that he was going to rename the misery index as the happiness index, a bit more positivity, we love that too. And then we were honoured with our leaders panel. What brilliant leaders we had, expertly led by Robin, who in himself is a brilliant leader. But we rely on Kate year in, year out from UK Hospitality to keep us on track, to make sure the government are well aware of what we're doing here in hospitality and the value that we bring to the country. So we always applaud Kate for that. But she was well backed up today by Susan Bland and Joanne Taylor-Stagg and Andrew Henning, all with great expert knowledge, and we were in no doubt of Robin's political leanings by the end of that panel. But anyone who follows us on Twitter or any social media will already know where Robin stands on most things. But we learned there that ESG doesn't have to be a cost. Talking of ESG, Sarah's still over there with some books left. Is that right? So if you need a book on sustainable business, you might just be able to blag yourself a free one if you go and have a quick chat with Sarah. We also learnt that revenue management is critical. We all knew that already. And that Michelin is moving from just restaurants into keys as well, into hotels. But we'll wait to see how that actually pans out. But their breadth of knowledge, I think, was particularly impressive. I enjoyed that panel a lot. We had an update on the uniform system from Carson, which was great. And then we split into the workshops for the day. Now, I didn't sit in on all of those, so I'm not going to single out any, but they were all recorded and they will be edited and put on our website. So anybody that wants to have a look at those and watch the ones they missed or watched ones that have been reported back as good, they will be available in the coming weeks. Following a lovely lunch, thank you to the Royal Lancaster, they do look after us well, sponsored by 14IP, which was very kind. 14IP also entertained us with a brilliant video, just a really light-hearted way, introducing their AI product, their automated telephonist. I'm not sure they'll thank me for describing it like that, but it was a very amusing video, very uplifting after lunch. And we went into the AI panel, which I know a lot of people were looking forward to today. And that was really expertly delivered. Carson led Gavin and Adrian, and there was a lot of discussion, and I learnt the difference between AI and generative AI. And really that we've got to look forward with positivity, not believe that it's going to take over the world, and that there are cost barriers to successful AI, and really make your decisions carefully what you're doing there. And a good way to start, and we had a lovely session on this earlier or last year on RPA, robotic process automation. Lovely way to start with your AI journey if you're not already started on it. Thank you to Matthew Prosser from Agilicis, who gave us some great facts and figures. And there's still an opportunity to sign up to get your hands on that report that he was referring to if you go and see the Agilicis stand. And then later on, technology enabling or restricting the art of hospitality. Caroline again led that panel with Wesley, Danica and Steve. Now, all of those three were very seasoned travellers, and that put a different perspective on technology enabling or restricting. We normally get hoteliers talking about that, but these people, obviously very involved in the hospitality industry, but were travellers. And what I found particularly interesting about that was their views on whether technology was restricting or enhancing, and they were all technology suppliers. So I love the fact that they weren't saying, yeah, technology is the answer to everything. They were absolutely acknowledging that it's not. And that the three things that I always say, it's got to solve a problem, it's got to reduce friction, or it's got to enhance the guest experience. And that's a great mantra for technology. And the other thing I always say, if ever I'm talking about technology, is the guest must have choice. And that was played out in their conversation as well. So that was a much more interesting one than I thought it was going to be. Sorry if that sounds negative, but I thought that was a particularly good one. And then post the tea break, we came on to the wellness session, where we had Daniel Fryer, Emlyn from Accor, and Daniel from Peloton. And we learned about movement, nutrition, mindfulness, rest and recovery. And seeing as we've all been at it for nearly 9 hours today, I think rest and recovery is going to be called for tomorrow. Not yet, not this evening, but tomorrow. But we learned about burn and earn, that was loyalty. Health to wealth, there was lots of lovely rhyming things in that one. Not as good as Peter's opening poem this morning, though. That was second to none. And then from that all-male panel, we moved into an all-female panel on enhanced marketing. And we learned, again, not to work in silos, to make sure that the whole team is encouraged to work together, bring people to the fore, align marketing, align revenue management, but the whole team need to be involved from top to bottom if you're going to really properly deliver bottom line success. So thank you to Holly, Liz, Inna and Jodie for that one. That was brilliant. Thank you. I then had that lovely chat with my old friend Janelle about professional development. And I actually thought 10 minutes was going to be plenty, but as our 10 minutes was counting down on the clock, I thought we should have maybe given ourselves 15. But I hope a lot of you learned more about what Hospa does from a professional development perspective. And then our last panel, the one we've just had, what great speakers we had on that, led by Natalie, with Jonathan Raggett, Verian Palmer and William Gibbs, all having won those amazing awards just recently. I hadn't realised when I asked them all to speak that they were all going to have just been awarded something really fabulous. So thank you very much to that one as well. And there was a lot of really lovely stories there. And there's been references to all of the panels throughout the day, which maybe that happens every year, but I seem to have noticed it more this year, that the hot stats were referred back to, the loyalty came up again and again, and the AI. So it's nice to know that so many of you were here throughout the day. I know people sometimes have to come and go, but the room was remarkably full this morning at 9 o'clock. I really almost took my breath away when I came onto stage to see how many of you were here. And it's pretty full now, so I'm delighted with that. I do have lots of thank yous to Peter, as always. Thank you for keeping us very much on track, and to Harry. We've got Bob, our chairman, here as well, so you can give us a wave, Bob. Give the room a wave. There we go. A big thank you to all our speakers. They were all brilliant. They were absolutely, and we didn't have anyone drop out today. I think this is the first time that we've had all our speakers arrive, turn up, and be here and speaking. We've had all sorts of instances over the year with people being ill or not being able to get here because of traffic problems. Every single speaker was here today, so that's brilliant. They were all fantastic. And the Hospa team, I'm sure you've probably interacted with many of them. And I don't know, these lights are so bright here, I can't see, but I'm hoping my colleagues Helen, Amanda, Diana, Emily, and Lance, who helps us out just one day a year, or 3 days actually, yesterday, today and tomorrow. But we've all worked flat out, and they are absolutely brilliant. So thank you very much to the Hospa team. Oh, yeah, I can see some at the back there. Really brilliant. Thank you very much. Then, Natalie, I took your advice about publicly recognising people. but I would have done that anyway. Pick PR, who they've been the ones running around with photographs, and they've been tweeting, and they've been doing all stuff for us. So, oh look, they're all over there. So lovely Pick PR, thank you very much. You're a brilliant support throughout the year. Somebody said to me this morning, and they came up and they said, Jane, who does your social media? And I was thinking, oh no, they're going to complain about something. And they said, because it's phenomenal. And I thought, well, thank you. So thanks, Pick. That's amazing. To the Royal Lancaster team, they do treat us fabulously well when we're here. I think that lunch, the afternoon tea, little cakes were just brilliant. So they are always good, and they'll be here again this evening. So for those of you that are staying, we will get to see them again and thank them again later on. There is, we can put up a slide, I think, on a feedback little QR code that we've got, and it's also in the delegate pack. We do really want your feedback, and whilst it's lovely to hear that everything was perfect, and please do feel free to say that, we do really value the people that say that could have been better or you missed out this, because we can't improve, we can't move forward without that feedback. So please don't hold back. We do want honesty and truth on that feedback. Lots of you will probably already have a raffle ticket. I hope so. We're selling, as I mentioned this morning, in aid of Springboard. They're going to be on sale throughout the evening as well. And we're going to pull the raffle at the end of the night, but we're not going to do a big come up on stage and get your prize. A, because that's not that interesting for everyone who doesn't win, but B, because lots of people will have bought them, maybe not staying for dinner and all those sorts of things. But we will be letting people know who won later on, and then we'll be in touch with everyone who has one over the next, either tomorrow or early next week. We will be breaking for dinner soon in our drinks reception, I promise. The drinks reception is sponsored by Key Step, so we're very grateful for them for putting on some lovely drinks. And then we'll be back in the room really within an hour. And as Peter said, please do let the team get on with changing this table, turning around this room into lovely dinner tables. But we have a whole lot of different things going on this evening. We've got different sponsors this evening sponsoring our awards. It's going to be a fantastic evening. I don't know if the table plan is up yet. If it's not, then please feel free to, well, wait for it actually. Don't go and hassle the front desk. If it's not up, it means it's not done. But if you're not on it, don't assume that we didn't want you. It could be a mistake. And if you are on it and you're not planning to stay, please also let us know. But I think that's it. Thank you to all of you really so much for attending, for joining in. Thank you to all the sponsors and exhibitors. I've loved every moment, and I know a lot of people have. I've had some fantastic feedback. We are a fabulous industry. That's really been proven by all the panels today with the most special people. So let's go and have some drinks. Let's join in fun for dinner and come back next year, and I hope to see you all before that too. Thank you all, everybody, very much.